everyone, this is Jebro, and hopefully we're going to give you some awesome PvP games in the North American tournament, daily tournament, on Tuesday at 8 PM Pacific. It is the main time on an evening, or maybe a couple of hours earlier for NA, so there are about 10 teams-ish playing, and of course, if you don't know what this is, an automated tournament in Guild Wars 2 is accessible via the PvP menu, top left. As soon as you got through the PvE first instance of story, you can go up to the swords in the top left hand corner, enter the PvP arena area and lobby and start queuing off PvP. But you can also go through the daily tournaments and monthly tournaments as well, as long as you get enough points to access that. The daily tournaments are along here on the left hand side, monthly is here, which you need a lot more of these qualifying points to enter, so it's worth thinking about entering these tournaments first on the left hand side, then entering the Cormier's Clash or whatever it is monthly later on down the road. But otherwise you need to get enrolled here with four of your friends in a 5-person team. Get yourself involved, and the tournament is live right now. That's not a random intro into what and how you get into tournaments, that's just me showing you a thing. Otherwise, we do have the first tournament I will be showing on the YouTube channel, and it could be a very interesting tournament indeed, because I'm not sure what the scene's like on NA massively at the moment, because I haven't commentated for a while, and builds and everything else are going to change vastly over the next month, because there's going to be a big massive balance patch. So at the moment, it was fairly even when I came into the game. It was about 80 to 80 or so. But let's have a look at the composition on the red team. The red team is going to be going for an Elementalist, and they're going to be playing with, the cheeky Dagger, but the Warhorn, and they're going to be going Tempest, which is going to be a bit more of a supportive role here with Earth and also Water. That is their support role. They'll be playing in those team fights more often than not. Then you've got a Scrapper who's going more for damage. You've got the Mechanist who's also going for damage as well. Very much a roamer. They've got Rocket Boots, which is a good ability to shift themselves around the map. Then you've got the Warrior who's a bit more of a bruiser in these situations. But at the moment, both teams are going through the Stillness buff, which in the middle of the map pops up. And on this specific map, it is going to give you double points for each capture node you have. So the red team at the moment have 1 point. Over on towards the middle, and you get 1 point every 2 seconds currently in any 5v5 mode. That will double if you get yourself Stillness. If you've got 2 caps, then it will double for that capture point as well, and you're technically gaining a lot of points. You're going to get 4 every few seconds. So that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. It's a good comeback mechanic, and it's also a good mechanic to put your team ahead in terms of the lead as well. At the moment, both teams were kind of fighting over that. We do have the points all neutral as well at the moment, so it doesn't really matter who got that, and I'm not sure who did get it. We won't find out until our point is captured within that time period, because that's when we'll find out when the double point score will be counted. So obviously we can see the rally there as the red team member did go down over towards mid. Red team will get the cap. Red team did get Stillness. You can see at the top of the screen, that's where the little marker is with the paw, and we are going to be seeing that coming up for not too much longer. So they've got a little bit of a bonus, but they get 2 points every 2 seconds, which is really, really nice for them to get a bit of a lead here. The Stillness has gone. They didn't get a lead. They actually just got a little bit of a comeback there. So not too bad indeed. I'm a bit slow, so I do apologize about that. It does look like we've had a bit of a kill downstairs as well. Looks like also a DC, unfortunately, for that player. Son of the Scrapper as well is going to be down and out, but that's okay because it's going to be 4v4, so blue team are going to be able to come back into this game and control things hopefully for them. Still very close game as well. You can see Rocket Boots for the Engineer. They could use that to get out of line of sight. They do try to go a little bit around the side. Nothing really left other than the port, which is going to help them remove some conditions. Rocket, they're going to be able to use Jump Shot to get out if they can, but unfortunately they do get stunned. And they do get taken out there as well. Beautiful in blue, the other side of the map. Doing an okay job just keeping the point neutral to 1v2 as well. If this blue team player does not come back. Oh no, they have come back. They've respawned into the game. So we are back with the blue team on 5 members. They are 217 to 201 at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. There will be the Stillness buff in the middle here and the Tranquility buff downstairs down on this side of the map. So if you don't know what this map is about, this is the big mechanic of Temple of the Silent Storm. When you hit that Tranquility buff, it takes a good amount of time for you to channel it. It's right there. You can see downstate, getting down C is really, really bad time for someone to be lost on their side, unfortunately, but they're going to be coming back up as well. Look at that. Good stuff, because we did see someone go down up top and they got the rally off of that kill. Good job. I absolutely can't believe that happened. That is very unlikely. Honestly, that battle was quite a long time ago, and half the time it doesn't work. So they got pretty lucky there. Unfortunately, we have seen Beautiful go down in the distance there as well, and red team should be able to outnumber this and win it, because what will happen if Tranquility gets taken? All points will flip into that team's control, and that will be big if they get Stillness as well. Stillness has been capped, because this is a big point of the game. Stillness and Tranquility get taken over. Sana also very, very low. Two members of the red team getting absolutely decimated here by these blue team, by this 2v3 of the blue team. Actually, downstate coming out still as well. Mechanist is down at middle, and red are losing all of their fights. They had the advantage over here towards Temple, and unfortunately they are probably going to lose out unless they can potentially get something out. Get someone to back them up downstairs. They've had losses all over the map at the moment as well. We do see Champion of N coming down towards the buff as well. Blue team need to think about the fact that they also do need to come back into the game. The red team have got one cap, so even though red team are losing these fights downstairs, they're still winning the game upstairs as well. So that's okay, and that's what they're kind of managing at the moment as well. Both engineers currently on top of the map. Does mean they're outnumbered. Blue team red team at the bottom. They're getting kills. They're getting points slowly in. Every 5 points for every kill, don't forget. So not too bad. We are going to see blue team gonna get it. It looks like no red team members are in position to actually interrupt, but they are going to go to the sides instead. And all these capture points are going to flip into the favor of the blue team, but not for very long, because the blue team aren't actually well dispersed here, so it didn't really work for them too well. Now when you flip the capture points as well, there's a big explosion on the point and it knocks people out, so that's another good advantage. So if you're fighting on the side on those points, that's going to be advantageous for your team as well. So they didn't have anyone in position, and blue team not really getting a massive amount out of that. Red team probably won't benefit a little bit more, but here we go. Look, Silic is doing a great job on the side there with the Shout Beast, the Soul Beast, the Ranger. They're going to be getting a little bit more of a buff in the upcoming balance patch in early October, when they are going to be having the bonus of swapping their pets while they are joined to them, which is the main soul feature of Soul Beast. Soul feature of the Soul Beast? Yeah, that wouldn't have worked in terms of talking about that. Blue team though have got a double cap, and they're about to, just so close to getting the lead there here. Shirkarel, very, very low. Are they going to opt to go for Stillness here as well? Do you see the Ranger has gone for the cap? No, interrupted there as well. That does get interrupted via damage, so don't forget about that. That's a really, really good thing. The Soul Beast came up for the red team to interrupt that. The Scrapper has gone down, unfortunately, on the temple point for red team. So we are going to see Champion trying to get over there to get the potential res, but that's going to easily get interrupted. So what they're going to do is they're just going to try and hold on that point and keep it 2v1 in terms of caps, but 1v2 in terms of the fire. The warrior is still over here. +1 onto the 2v1. He's going to take the warrior out very quickly. Here comes the Mechanist, and red team are just feeding these points right now. And on the other side of the map as well, we do have the Soul Beast versus the Soul Beast, and that 1v1 doesn't go well for him in the end, unfortunately. A red team look like they're really going down by the wayside, as they do roll over with the Stillness as well as the double cap. Should be happening quite soon, so they'll be getting a fair few points every couple of seconds there. Really, really good job from the team of, I don't know what they're called, blue team. The team, normally it would have been Ranger Danger. There we go. And the moment they're losing mid as well. Red team were looking so solid at a comeback here, but blue actually went for the as they did go for Tranquility. They were getting those kills steadily as well, and absolutely did a great job of coming back into this game and just holding out with the lead. And now they're just piling on mid. Red team as well, they need to get someone on this home cap of blue, which is going to be the altar. We are going to see as well that the Guardian is going to try and equalize this fight here on the temple, but really we should have seen red team dissipating onto all sides of the map to try and get something, but they have lost indeed. They will get another chance. It's a Swiss tournament. It's a Swiss tournament, basically, is what the Guild Wars 2 automated daily tournament is, and the monthly as well, which means you get to play a couple of times before you bowing out of the automated tournament. It's not your standard bracket, and it's probably better that I just help explain that another day maybe, because that might be quite a lot of information for us to go through today. But the blue team, 503 to 96, 396. Good job to them. We're going to see which game we're going to be jumping into next. Again, if you do want to go into automated tournaments, top left-hand side of the screen, click PvP, and you'll normally be brought to this window. Go to the second tab down is your league. Third is tournaments. You'll be able to see what time these tournaments are on. The next one, for example, is on 11:15, and these happen daily. And then you've got your monthly down here. The one that's currently running is the one just above the monthly, and this is the one we're looking at now. First place is going to give you 25 gold as well as 50 qualifying points and 5 mystic coins. Not a bad little piece of the pie. If you get if you just participate, you get 2 potions of PvP reward. You get some 5 qualifying points as well. And if you go in for the monthly, you're going to need 100 qualifying points. And if you get, like I said, participation is 5, so you can go in for like 20 of these tournaments a week. If you can scratch that, that's probably intending most of them, in all honesty. Even if you're just coming in 58, if you get 10, so if you're doing that 10 times a week, sorry, you're going to be able to get into the monthly, because you need to get enough of those points to get in to qualify and to queue up with another bunch of people. And there's tons of awesome rewards as well as the unique reward, which gets to be put above your head. It's like a champion's moon. But let's go and check out the rest of the tournament, because I think there should be, in the second game should be running up quite soon. Here we go. And you can see at the moment they've kind of been rated in the Swiss style. I'm just waiting till we get into the next one. This is not going to be edited much or anything. This is just me spending my time chilling, watching some automated tournaments and trying to get back into commentating, as well as getting into it again and just, you know, enjoying watching teams play. Live matches currently, so you can see that at the moment, and I think these are the ratings for teams, so the moment Ranger Danger 2 to 7 at the moment will probably be a closer game to watch maybe, or maybe we'll go for this one here. Now this is the real team name in brackets, sorry, but I would say maybe let's go and check out this one, Eternal Colosseum. That's what they're kind of ranking within the Swiss tournament system. So in this tournament system, you don't get eliminated yet. And there's a fixed amount of rounds as well. Oh, okay. So when teams meet up, they win or lose, and then they get rated depending on whether or not they are going to win or lose their matches, which come up through the tournament. And then after a while, they get rated against each of the other teams who have won and lost, and then they get given a placing. Now, unfortunately, this is something that happens in the automated tournament a lot, and I am gonna leave this in the recording because it's an important thing. People do queue up just to get gold and to queue, and they AFK. This also can be sometimes bots as well, and I want to point this out as something that I really hope that ArenaNet get around to looking at, because they're all AFK right now, and I'm not sure how they don't get kicked or they don't get removed, or there isn't something where, you know, because at the moment it just does make a mockery of the tournament scene, unfortunately, and this happens a lot. So it is unfortunate. Blue team getting a win easily and they get some gold, I get it, but this is just another way of people farming gold in the game. Unfortunate, doesn't really give the good PvP scene a good rep. But there we go, that's it. At least those players get to have their gold, I guess. We do have another game, which we're going to jump into, and actually looks pretty even as well at the moment. So let's have a look at the team composition. Again, you know, the support role is going to be filled, it looks like, or at least it looks like. Oh no, it's not going to be a support role. That's fairly, I've seen this a few times. Fire, Water and Tempest, but it looks like that's kind of like a bruiser build, and the red team are across the map as well. So the early looks like it's going to be more of a stable kind of tanky build, support build in team fights if needed. But I can just quickly go back over this. They have got the Tempest traits to give them support, honestly, as well as so it is like an aura mancer build. So grant an aura based on your achievement, and the auras as well are going to be so any auras granted to them, they're going to grant to their allies, so reducing damage, heals, all the things, might, etc, etc. So again, it has got a small amount of support in it. Red team able to get the double cap. It looks like they're going to be able to spread themselves around the map a little bit more. Maybe red team thinking that they will go for more of a all over map concentration here. We did see the kill coming out from Henry and did get the kill onto Rykreis there, unfortunately, now going to be on a 1v2, potentially in a 2v3 for the red team. Red team shouldn't really push this, honestly, because it will put them into a little bit of a unfortunate situation. You do see red team are trying to disengage. Red team as well, engineer using those rocket boots to get around the map. Red team have taken out the oh wow, okay. I wish I had actually stayed around here. Oh my good lord. The Herald doing an absolute number on the blue team at the moment with the cleave as well. Took out the other member who was trying to get the res. And it's 1v4 right now? 1v3, so? No, 1v4. And this Herald is actually doing a ridiculous job and is still alive. If any of the red team going to come over and help, they're trying to. Need to just disengage. He did get a kill on one. And there we go. We see that the Elementalist is coming as well, able to give a lot of cleave as well as support. And that is going to be almost all four members. No, all four members do go down here in this fight. Absolutely outstanding from the red team, but mostly from this Herald. And that was pretty damn epic. I'm going to whisper that person. Whoa. I just said, whoa. That was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Amazing work from the Herald there, and the Herald is pretty powerful at the moment. A lot of damage coming out from the blue team, losing out quite a lot there, as that is going to be a one pinnacle point of the game. In Guild Wars 2 there is a couple, in PvP specifically, there is a couple of pinnacle moments in games which can really swing fights. So you probably got about two of them in a game. Like if you get a wipe, two wipes, normally that's pretty indicative of which team are going to win. And it works either way around, you know. I mean, you can do so to come back into a game, and then you can slowly try to snowball the map. And when I say snowball, I mean you get the kills here, you get a capture point, you get a capture point, you get a capture point. You know, snowball the point capture points, you snowball the kills as people coming out to the map as well. And yeah, it can be pretty rough. So if you're a new player, you don't want to just be going back into the map one by one, getting killed as well. That's another way that teams can snowball the game. So there's a couple of ways you can do that as a team. The moment red team are dominating, free cap comes out for them. They're only 200 points away, and it feels like blue team at the moment could just AFK, but I'm glad to see that they're coming out strong, and they just want to come and give them a good fight, as well as hopefully the opportunity to win future games just by learning, you know. And if they can regroup here instead of just piling into the map 1v1, like 1v2, 1v3, that'd be more advantageous for their future learning experiences. But they could have also gone through the LFG in Guild Wars 2, which would have helped them to potentially find teammates to get into PvP as well. So as you can see on the left hand side, when you go to LFG, up on the top left, which is the contacts in LFG, second little thing on the left hand side, it's got the little people. You can't see because I've got a little bar in the way. You can go there and you can have a look down the left hand side and find groups. You can find ranked arena for, you know, if you want to go for the ranked mode, which could be, you know, the 5v5, 2v3, 2v2 or 3v3. It wouldn't be fun to be 2v3. You can go for unranked arena, so you can get 5 people, and then tournaments is also 5 people as well, which you do need to have in automated daily and monthly tournaments. So unfortunately for blue team, I haven't been lucky here in this game. You get to at least 2 games as far as I know, depending on whether or not you get buys from how many teams, because there might be an odd amount of teams, so you might not get to play 1 or 2 games sometimes as well, depending on how many teams are in the tournament. Odd even numbers, obviously. If it's odd, you're not always going to be playing someone potentially, or one team is not going to be playing all teams. specifically as well. So, you know, that's the thing. When I say all teams, you know, you got 9 teams, only 8 can play. You haven't got another team to play. They're going to get a bye. Boom. Okay. Otherwise, we do have these buffs on the map as well. You can see this one on the bottom side. That, I'm not sure if it's going to be there. Anyway, so when you pick up this sword buff on the bottom side of the map on just there, you can see the Herald has got it, which who, to be honest, is probably the best person to get it because they're getting the kills. As soon as you get that a player down that they've done some damage to, a Reaper comes out and takes them out straight away. If you get the one in the north, which looks like a shield, you get automatically rezzed back up after you've been put into the down state. So either one, really, really good to get, especially if you know, you're a damage player specifically as well. Even if you're a support, you know, really, really great ones to get. Just telling this guy that is going to be a game which is online. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go back into the live matches. We've got lucky with the game so far. Looks like this might be a good one to go for. 3rd rated team and 4th rated team at the moment in the Swiss tournament on a Tuesday. Cool. So the main reason that this Swiss tournament style is used is because it gives people a little bit more of an opportunity to stay involved and to get more games and to feel like they have a little bit more of a stake in things, you know. I don't think that rating or that number is to do with their rating, because the other team was an AFK team, so you know, whether or not they were versus another AFK team at the beginning, which is something they were against, I just didn't get the recording. They may have just been rated higher. It could just be the team number they were entered as. I think that system is a little bit dodgy. It would be great if they could do make this just more informative for players, for people. But yeah. Okay. So, and if you enter these tournaments, you basically waive, you know, you get recorded and put online. Like that's, you know, that's one of those things, unfortunately. You don't really have any control over that. So if you don't want to be potentially recorded by someone, you can ask, maybe in the map chat, and just check if there is a commentator here. So you can see me, spectators, Jebro right there. You can ask him, but more often than not, you know, they may be commentating, they may be recording it like I am. Blue team and red team, here we go. There isn't really a specific support here. You can see we've got 3 mechanists. One is going to go all signet, another is going to go for power rifle, and then you've got another power, it looks like a little bit more tanky with rocket turret, which is very interesting. And it doesn't look like, I haven't got the middle trait there, but they do have discharge array, so they're going to be getting a lot more damage as well from that. So they're trying to go for a little bit more of a bunker build here. They don't have a shield either, which is weird, and they've gone for game protection nearby allies. So this person hasn't checked in with their build at all, which is going to be a really big issue, and it's something that you should all be doing when you go into PvP. Make sure your build is set up, make sure it's correct and working with your skills, and then when you start the game, you have all your weapons correct, sigils, runes, everything else as well, because that's important. That team member probably wouldn't have gone down if their build had been completely fine and working, in all honesty. We're going to see the going down, unfortunately, as well. Red team do have 1 node on the side at the moment. They do have a lot of control. A little cheeky res coming out as well. Arcanistic is going to go into the downstate. Vapor forming across onto the point. Hopefully he's going to get resed here. Just trying to get a little bit of line of sight. You do see the Guardian coming out for the res here as well. Purok going to be going for it. Doesn't get contested here. Oh, that's a lot of damage. No. He's got Sanctuary. I'm not sure why they've not gone for a Sanctuary res. Well, they did get him up in the end, but that Sanctuary could have been really, really helpful there. And they do get the outnumber, and there's actually using Sanctuaries to secure a res potentially. So downstate, sorry, which is weird. I mean, I think that's often done in 2v2s, 3v3s, but blue team doing a slow movement back into the map where they could have gone for the support of their teammate here. Unfortunately, they didn't. Really slow, unfortunate movement from the blue team here, who over in the mid are technically 3 versus 0, where red have come over to their side of the map. And if blue team had moved out a little bit quicker, they could have supported their teammate and actually potentially stolen that boss kill. So it's something for the blue team to learn there. And anyone watching this video, if you're new or whatever, do not stick around and just hang out on points, you know, because it's not really worth it. Red team and blue team now firing. You get the last hit on that boss. You do get the damage on the last tiny bit of damage. It doesn't matter who took the most damage off of that boss. You're going to get those points. 25 points, bish bash bosh, as well as the extra stats. It's mostly for the points on the board, and it's really, really good for endgame if you're really, really close. Now blue team are unfortunately falling by the wayside, and they haven't done a good job in rotating here as well, and should be controlling the map in more of a 2-cap kind of strat right now. And you can see the red team a little bit more experienced in terms of just rotating around the map, leaving fights when, you know, they've won them, or they can see that they're going to win those fights, and being able to plus on the map. When I say plus on the map, I mean just being an extra person. Now red team are standing at mid now, 2 players. Not sure why they're doing that to capture the point. It does not get captured faster if you have 2 people on the node. I see that a lot still in Guild Wars 2 PvP, even from like people who may be playing the game for a long time. So maybe this is information people do not know, but that is not something that happens. Again, something that is really, really important to do in PvP in Guild Wars 2. If you stay alive, that is one of the best things you can do for your team. It doesn't, if you're going to lose a fight and you're on a node which is in their other team's control. So right now, this point is contested, and it's worth having this 1v1 for the player, because they're, well, until they die, obviously. I didn't see how low their HP was, so it was not worth them dying on that point. Even though it's theirs, no one else from the blue team is currently there to switch in and get that fight going, other than the Guardian. And unfortunately, the Guardian is a support player, so all they're just going to do is keep the point contested. They're not going to be in the team fight with the rest of their team, supporting their team. That is their role. So them being in a 1v1 on a side node is not going to be the best, and we all know that, don't we? Yes, we do. Again, I'm trying to explain a lot while this game is going on, and it's not advantageous for myself, and hopefully I'm not confusing you all massively right now, because there is a lot to think about in Guild Wars 2. It is not, and I repeat, it is not an easy mode to understand. And visually, it's not an easy mode to understand in terms of just the game mode itself. Takes a lot of learning. There's a lot of videos out there that can help you, and if you would like me to make some more, then I can do that. At the moment, blue team are getting a couple of kills on the map, but they're wiping more than anything. The only person right now on the board who's still alive is going to be our Liga, and does get a cheeky little kill here, actually. Indeed, good job from them. And it's going to be the Warrior. They're going to try and, oh, nice CC knockback coming out from the downstate, and that is going to be this Warrior probably down and out, and that is definitely going to be the game where I can pick up, Engineer can maybe pick up that capture point. You might see the Ranger going for the boss kill. You do see them going over for that, but more likely you should really see them exit this fight now as well. Unfortunately, the Mechanist, probably not the best move as the respawns are coming out. Ranger probably doesn't want to be going for this boss now, but what you will normally see is the blue team getting a little bit of a cheeky regroup, going for that boss kill, and then bouncing over to mid. Static kind of normal move. At the moment they're behind, doesn't really feel like they're going to win this game. Purok coming in here trying to potentially get a steal on the boss. They don't get it, and red team get an easy 25 points. Unfortunately, blue team really slow on movement there. Could have been a bit quicker. Again, you know, we've got some interesting rotations from them, but they do have a team composition, which is good. And it just takes a little bit of learning here and there. There are 3 players currently on this member. It doesn't matter. I think they've lost. That's probably why they're not moving too quickly. Could just take out the Ranger a little bit quicker by popping a little bit of stability there, but they don't want to use that potentially, as they know they're going to be coming into a team fight. The Thief, sorry, not the Thief, the Ranger, as well as the Mechanists coming over towards the Henge node as well to get that decap and win a fight, as well as Kane taking them into the next round potentially. And that's going to be GG for the Cold Foamers. They're named in each game. That is not really going to be their specific team name, but in this game specifically. See the Mechanist pulling out a lot of damage there, and Purok tried to keep their team supported. Unfortunately, blue team a little bit slow on the upkeep on many occasions, and hopefully there's some learning experiences for them there where they can, you know, get something together hopefully in future. At the moment, you see another close game here on Forest of Niflheim. I don't know where people are in the games at the moment in terms of placing and how far they are up. But red team do have a lot going on for them. And again, it's this red team we saw winning previous games. We've actually been following them quite close in this tournament. Seize the moment. Playing on that Scrapper build. Unfortunately, sorry, Sana playing on Scrapper. Unfortunately, we are going to see Scrapper changed massively in the patch coming up in future. Has gone whole for just damage. Just gone for all of the damage. Going for wells here as well. Going for quickness. And it's like a PvE build in all honesty. It's just all damage. Crit. Extra crit damage. But a little bit of healing from Big Boomer. A little bit surprising that they go for that. But they're going for Scholar and Zerker as well. Lots of damage coming for that. Much respect. And we got the Roaming Mechanist here as well. Then we've got the Blade Sworn. Oof, are they going to get any damage out of that? Champion did stop for a while going and trying to use that F1 skill and not really sure. Oh no, sorry, the Elementalist. Wow, that was lazy. That was really lazy. Not sure why they revived them with the Signet there. I think it's because they wanted to get up on the point for this team fight. It may have been worth it in the end. I know they think they're probably going to win as well. So hopefully I don't see that coming out in closer games, because that would be potentially waste because of how easy it would have been for them to get the res there as well, being full HP, as well as the rest of the team being at mid. It probably would have been absolutely fine. Pretty sure they did that for the fanciness of it and for the confidence level of how they're performing in this game currently at the moment. The rest of the blue team are going to be respawning here, but they're going to be respawning without the Willbender, unfortunately. Sure, while they were going to that side node, maybe trying to distract the red team and take them over there as well quickly. Take them over there to potentially move them out. So now you can see that blue team Necro trying to... Sorry, wow. Harbinger. Well, they're a Necro, it's okay. They popped off a Fear again with the node, didn't happen. Now, here is going to be a big mistake. I feel like blue team are just going to stick on the node and die. Yes, they are indeed. Big mistake. Now, if you're a new player watching that, blue team did absolutely nothing in their favor here. They are losing the game. Maybe potentially they thought that they're not going to come back, and you can get into this real mode where you start to throw even more. So like you come into a 2v2, it's on their capture point, you feel like you're going to lose, get out of there, disengage, leave it. Don't feed them 10 points from your deaths, as well as them keeping the capture point. There's no point, especially if you're a 1v1. Think about this on the map in the bottom right hand corner where my mouse is. You're a red team player, you go over to Henge, it's the blue teams, you're in a 1v1, you're losing. If you die there, you give the enemy team 5 points, okay? That also means your team are now one person down. The blue team can go to mid or any team fight or any fight and outnumber and win. That potentially snowballs the whole game into the other team's favor. You don't want to be doing that. Get out, stay alive, rotate to somewhere else, know your matchups, know who you're good against, who you're bad against. And it's not always specifically classes, because sometimes you can just be the better player, but try and suss it out in your matchup. And obviously there are matchups which are going to favor you and aren't going to favor you depending on what the other person's class is and what build they're running, because you may not be someone who is good versus conditions. You might not be good, you might not be good at 1v1, you might not be able to decap, you know, all of these different things that's worth thinking about. I know I'm being very vague when I'm discussing this because I'm trying to get to different games and give you all the things I can. There's a little bit rushed, so I do apologize. This tournament is actually going a little bit faster. There we go. Okay. At the moment, we haven't seen many. We've seen some support guardians. We're going to see another support guardian coming out here. Now, this is a shout guardian. Now, when I say support, I mean someone who is going to heal your team. They're going to give you also some utility for resurrecting players in the downstate, and they're going to be able to give you some option defensive boons and also some boons which are going to help you in terms of, you know, doing more damage. So, for example, on Empower, you're going to get a big heal as well as getting some might, which is going to increase your damage. You're going to get swiftness as well from things like, you know, Symbol of Swiftness, which they'll put down at the start of the game. you know, you're going to be able to remove conditions with their shouts, because the rune they have is Rune of the Soldier. Tough, it gives you toughness, but it removes a condition from each affected ally after using a shout. Very, very important one to think about, and that's any shouts that are on any class. So Warrior, Guardian, as well as things like, you know, Ranger, anything that's got a shout, basically, you know, Necro as well when they play Reaper, which is an elite specialization.
The match starts soon.
Not Twitch, sorry, buddy. Okay. Then online. It doesn't matter. It's the person from the other game that were messaging me about where the games are going to be. This is all live, okay? So we've not seen really many thieves today at all. We've got team compositions which don't really, oh well, the red team is more of a composition which will spread across all 3 points of the map. You can see at the moment, if we press them, you can have the bigger version of the map, and you can see the red team is starting to disperse. They've put one person mid, they've got 2 people thinking about going over towards far, and in Vaccinator is in no man's land doing nothing right now. So this player, unfortunately, not really doing much, and the red team do look like they've put someone into the down state, and that goes against the run of play of things. But you know, as I said, unfortunately, because they're so slow at moving out from their home point, they do lose the advantage there. So in terms of their confidence, blue team start to come together, they get a lot more support from the Guardian, who will be coming in eventually, hopefully, but he's still not here. So yeah, a bit of an odd start for the red team, really, in all honesty, and they were very, very slow, and you saw that res bubble coming out from the Guardian, which is part of their build. If we pop over here, I can just show you, but it's going to be Protective Reviver. You get the shield that comes out, gives you a little bit of a heal as well as a knockback. Really, really good utility. And red team, again, haven't just stayed in the fight, and unfortunately, like we saw in the last game, the blue team, and it's not specifically this team, other teams do it as well, are a bit slow to move out. So when they're slow to move out, they lose potentially any advantage they have at trying to snowball the game into their favor and getting capture points on the map. But now they're back at it, they got the 1 point, and they're moving towards mid, and they're going to engage the red team in potentially a 3v3 here, which would be a big mistake for the red team, honestly. They've got a bit more of a skirmish composition. Oh wow, that was just, why are the blue team not helping their support? I have absolutely no idea, but that was dodgy. That was really dodgy. When I say support, the icons on the map right now, they reflect classes rather than elite specializations. I just knew that was the support because that was Humper Dinkler, or whatever their name is. Red team are just destroying people around the map, but they're not bouncing off of those kills to potentially get them capture points. They do need to do that. We are going to see buffs coming up in about a minute. Stillness as well at 11:30. We do see blue team Shurkrell, who we saw earlier. That team did a fantastic job. They're losing points. They're losing like player deaths, but they've got a free cap at the moment, and the red team really need to think about coming into this game, because if they get stillness as well, they're going to get 6 points every couple of seconds, and they ain't going to be good. Oh, whoa, that damage that came out from Pegasus there. What the hell? That was actually ridiculous. The greatsword spinning in, using that judge's intervention. Unfortunately, that means they're going to be very, very weak as well, and the Ranger just comes back smoke field, and they're going to be a block any knockback coming out of them, because they're going to be blinded. Amazing. Blind is a really, really good utility for you to have, because it negates the person's next outgoing attack. We do see the Guardian ready up top to get stillness. Remember, that doubles your team's point capture score on nodes. Blue team at the moment, that means they're going to be getting that extra point every couple of seconds for getting stillness. So technically they've got a 2 capture points on the map at the moment. Red team, even though they're in this skirmish kind of composition, are getting kills, or were getting kills, but are just not rotating at all around the map in any kind of successful way to take advantage of the kills. And blue team are just ganging up on them at the moment. They're getting the nodes, and then they're just getting the kills after all as they come in together, in terms of, you know, being able to go 3v3, 4v4, 5v5. They're going to have a big advantage if their support Guardian Humper Humperdinker is there because they're able to offer support in terms of tough, you know, healing, boons, condition removal, everything else that comes along with that. And blue team are absolutely wrecking face at the moment. And really good dodge, but doesn't get it off, unfortunately. Doesn't get out of the way of
Blue team grabbed the capture
the
point.
blue team soul beast, and they have to finish him. This is the only thing. Now, this is the only time where I would say, you know, well, the ranger. Oh no, the ranger is going to leave them. That's a big mistake, but it would have been a big mistake if the Mesmer wasn't there. Mesmer is there to finish them off. The reason why I say that's the only time you should probably finish someone off in the down state, specifically when you want to leave the point, you should always try and finish someone off, but leave them off point bleeding while you're taking the capture point, because they're out of the game. They're out of it. They're not coming back in until you finish them off or they're bled out. The longer they're out of the game, the better for you. If someone is in the down state and you have, you know, they're off point, always let them bleed out until you leave. There's no point in finishing them if they're off point and then letting them respawn quicker. It doesn't make any sense. People do that every single game I play in Guild Wars 2. 5v5 is happening every single time. Most of the time people don't get left to bleed out. It's a big mistake. Something you can really do to up your game in PvP.
Blue team grabbed the capture
If it's a ranger, just be wary that their pet will res them pretty quickly. So you just got to be very careful of that. Red team, it looks like, have given up here, and they are going to be absolutely decimated. Really, really good job from the blue team, who really shut them down at the first part of the game. We saw the engineers here kind of grouping up, watching for maybe a split across the map so they could 2v1, but no one came over, and they were very slow to push back out. And if that fight had gone a bit better, you may have seen them in this game a little bit more, because blue team, maybe, we don't know how well they are regrouping specifically on this map because we haven't really seen it much. And maybe they would have had more trouble, but that's, you know, even the first movement into the map can really decide how things go. This is what I'm talking about. Guild Wars 2 PvP is very, very much based on a couple of core events that happen in the game, and it can really be one-sided if the other team can't regroup and come back from that. There are only a couple of good teams in this game who are able to do that in the past, but you know, that was fun because of the battle knockback. Awesome, but you're going to see that blue team in the final. I believe we're going to the final next. I'm not too sure. Again, this overlay, unfortunately, and sorry, ArenaNet, for the mini disc that will be happening right now. Not the greatest, but it looks like that is how they're being rated. So when I said that AFK team was like 7 or 9th, it looks like maybe they got a draw, but they were rated just a little bit higher because of, I don't know why. No idea. It's really, really odd. You can also go to the standings and check this out. It's not always reliable. Let's have a look and see if it is actually reliable now. I think it is. So maybe they fixed that. I haven't looked at that in a long time. So it used to not be too reliable. The problem is this is never updated, and this is the big problem. This is the big thing that needs to get looked at, and they've still not been able to do that, unfortunately. And it would be a great thing if they could, but the system works. You just got to keep playing, and you'll find out where you've placed later on, depending on what reward you've got, unless you're kind of in the final and it's obvious, like this semi-final with the 4 teams and the 2 kind of brackets there. So this is going to be the last game. I hope you have enjoyed this so far. I'm glad that, you know, this has been a little bit more even across the board, which is very, very cool. It could have been a lot worse. I'm gonna try and get EU as well. And yeah, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe as well, please. That would be absolutely amazing.
Hello, stranger.
In all honesty.
Yes.
Whew. Okay, it's warm as well. I've got the fan off. It's just the end of summer. So those last couple of days. I like summer, all right? I know you all probably do as well, but at the end of the day, it's always nice to get out of that and have a little bit more of weather, you know? I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you're all very good and you're enjoying your week so far. And let me know if you enjoyed this, and if you need a little bit more explanation. I might get someone else to help do this with me, and maybe another ArenaNet partner who's able to watch the games. I could get, you know, Kroof or someone else. to have a look, and we can have some fun, do some commentating with some different people, maybe get some rookery in here as well. He's been doing commentating. You can see my position is silver currently in 2v2s. I am playing some ridiculous stuff right now. I was playing a Burn Guardian support build, which was very fun. And yeah, so I hope you're good. That's 3v3. I mean, actually, it doesn't matter. I don't care about my rank, because ranked doesn't matter whatsoever. It really has there is nothing of ranked count means anything, and it doesn't mean you're a good player at all. It just means maybe a lot of people have got more time, especially on NA. The time region are messed up. Loads of people throw games. There's win trading. There's loads of awful stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm genuine, authentic Jebro right here. The thing is just a mess. The thing that isn't a mess though is the automated tournaments. So if you know where you really stack up against people, come into these tournaments and enter them. They're the best way of judging how good you are at the game. In all honesty, especially if you're in a 5v5 setup with a team of people that you've built up for a long time, that's how you're going to know how good you are at this game, not in the ranked mode. Ranked mode is fun. Judge it based on the game you're playing at the time you're playing it, not on where you come at the end of the season, okay, peeps? Don't want you to be downhearted by that. Oh, it looks like the winner was Toil and Trouble. Okay. Interesting. Maybe the other team didn't sign up. Maybe I did the final. Maybe the other team didn't sign up. Maybe I just lost track of what was going on. Maybe you can go back and see what happened there. But otherwise, that's it. They won. So that sometimes that's maybe sometimes they can bug out because the last team don't queue up. Let me have a look. That could have just been my error there. But either way, that was the tournament played out on a Tuesday night. Okay. Weekends might be a little bit better, might be more teams, but still there's a lot of teams coming out. This is 5 players, you know, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That's 55, 60 players playing in a daily tournament at what is 11 p.m. Eastern time and 8 p.m. Pacific time in America. And those are kind of the times which, you know, are going to be the most popular. Maybe 3 hours before as well would have been pretty good to go for. But yeah, tell me if you enjoyed it. Tell me if you want to see some more, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, as well as becoming a member if you want to. Check out Patreon and the rest of the things below. Come and check us out on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/JebroUni as well, and I will see you next time. Go and check out the rest of the things on the channel. Podcasts, guides, build guides, engineer thoughts recently on the patch notes, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.